Hi guys, it's Abby and welcome back to my channel. So I have a little time off this week. I have a couple days where I'm really not doing anything at all. I had a really busy day yesterday and I really haven't done anything at all today except for watch booktube, and I've been reading some of my books. So I decided that I really want to do a 24-hour readathon. It's 5:06 right now and my husband is in class, and so he's going to be in class. He'll get home around 9 and then he'll go straight to bed because he has to work early in the morning. And so I figured I would start a readathon, like maybe make it from like 5:30 today until 5:30 in the afternoon tomorrow, and he'll be gone at work all day and then won't get home until later. So then I just have like this whole time to sit down and read and enjoy my reading time. And so I just decided, hey, let's do a 24-hour readathon. I'm really in the mood, and there's a lot of books that I really want to get to before Lola gets here, because I know as soon as she gets here, like, my reading is going to be cut down to absolutely nothing, and I just want to get through some books and some series and try to get some things finished before she gets here, so that way I can just check them off my list. So the first book I have actually been reading for the past couple days is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, and I've never actually read this series. I've heard a lot of great things about it, but I've also heard a lot of things that people don't like about it, and so I was like, you know what, I've had the book for forever, and so I was like, I'm finally gonna read it, and I'm just gonna form my own opinion about it. And so far I'm really liking it. There are some very old YA tropes in there that I'm not really loving, but like the story itself is really intriguing. I really like Selena, and so I'm really enjoying this. I'm on page 199 right now and there's like 400 pages. I plan on finishing this book at first, and then, you know, if I really like it, I'll probably buy the ebook for the next one. But if I decide that I want to switch to something different, I'm going to finally pick up Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell. I've been really looking forward to reading this. I just haven't found the right time, I guess, to read it, and so I plan on doing that. And then for the audiobook that I want to listen to, because I do plan on doing some things, I really want to reorganize my bookshelves and get some things in order, because it's really, when we moved into our new house, I just kind of threw books places, and so it's really unorganized and cluttered, and I really want to just reorganize them. And so whenever I'm doing things like that and I need to clean the house and stuff, I'm going to listen to Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. I really need to finish this series. I just finished the Infernal Devices series about a month ago, and I've been needing to catch up with my Cassandra Clare series, especially since they have another one coming out soon. I really enjoy Cassandra Clare's books, but for some reason it always takes me a really long time to get through them, probably because they're super big. They're all super big books, and so it normally takes me a really long time to get through them. Yeah, this book is 700 pages, so I really like listening to the audiobooks for her books though, because, I don't know, usually it's pretty dense and I fall asleep pretty easily whenever I'm reading them. I don't know why, they always just make me super tired. Listening to it has helped me, and that's how I got through the Infernal Devices series. And I love the Shadowhunter world, and I love the stories and the characters that are in these books. I just always have the hardest time getting through them. Those are my reading plans, and I'm gonna eat dinner right quick and then like officially start the readathon at 5:30, but right now I'm just gonna watch some booktube and eat some dinner, and yeah, I'll check back in after I've read a little bit. Guys, so it is about 6 o'clock and I've read about 30 pages of this book. I am really enjoying it so far. Oh, by the way, I'm reading Throne of Glass right now. There's like a romance that I feel like is brewing that I don't really like. Like, I would like it to go into another direction, and I feel like there's going to be a love triangle. I don't really know exactly if that's what's going to happen, but that's kind of what it's looking like at the moment. I'm really interested in the like magical elements that are going on in the story, and there's just like so many unanswered questions that I have, and I'm really excited about it. I'm trying not to spoil anything, because even though the majority of the world has read this book, not everybody has, so I don't want to like spoil anything, but I'm really enjoying the magic and the story that's going on, and I'm reading kind of slow right now. So I went to the eye doctor yesterday, and I need glasses, and so I'm having a hard time like focusing on the words because I can't really see. So I like have a hard time reading things. I have to like read it really close or like really focus on the words, or I can't see what's on the page very well. But now I'm really wanting to do some research. I think I'm gonna drink either a coffee or some tea. I just need something to wake me up because I'm extremely tired, and it's only 6 o'clock. And I have no reason to be tired because I slept late. I didn't do anything today. Like, I'm just unnecessarily tired. And so I'm gonna get some sort of caffeine in me, and I'm going to listen to some of Lord of Shadows because looking at the pages is making my eyes really tired. Plus, I want to research different ways to organize my bookshelf because I want to really reorganize it, but I don't know how I want to do it. I've always done my bookshelf by genre and then by last name of the author, and like that doesn't really work for me because a lot of my favorite authors and my favorite books are S's and T's and things like that, and so they're on the bottom shelf, and with a baby coming and then my dogs, like I don't want my favorite books on the bottom shelf where they can get messed up, so I might just reserve the bottom shelf of my bookshelf for like old books that I don't really have a lot of interest in, or I have like a lot of school books from whenever I was in college, and so I might put those there. I don't really know. I'm gonna just listen to some of this audiobook and do some research. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna like try to wake myself up. Also, I am very aware that I am not going to finish this book today. Like, it's 700 pages. I just wanted to get it started and maybe get like 100 pages of it listened to. Plus, normally what I do whenever I read Cassandra Clare books, whenever I listen to them on audiobook, is I also read them physically. So like I'll switch in between the two, and I don't plan on doing that at all today, but I probably will whenever I am done with this readathon. So that's what I'm gonna do. Alright, so it's now 8 o'clock, and I'm sorry if you hear a noise. It's my washing machine. It's on spin cycle, and whenever it gets on spin cycle, it's like really loud, and so there's really just nothing I can do about it. But I have been doing some laundry. I did some dishes. I looked some things up on how to reorganize my bookshelf. I still have no idea how I want to do it. So, but I've been listening to the audiobook of Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare, and I really like having the physical copy of it while I'm listening to the audiobook so I can kind of keep up with where I am. So I listened to it on 2 times speed. So I've listened to about 3 hours of it. I have 20 hours left. It's a 23-hour audiobook, and I am on page 96 in the physical book, and I mean that's like that much through, and considering this is a 700-page book, I feel like that is pretty good. But I mean, you can only listen to it so fast, so in the hour and a half that I have been listening to it, I feel like I've gotten a lot done, but I'm just really enjoying it. Like I said, I love the Shadowhunter world, and I love all of the characters in the Shadowhunter world, and I like how all of the series are intertwined and how you get characters from the other series in each book. I think this one's really interesting because it has characters from both of the series in it, and I just think it's really interesting. Plus, it's like another epic story. I don't really know what's going on, but I know something bad is going to happen. There's also the romance problems that are going on, which I think is really interesting because I ship this one couple so hard, but like it's looking like it's never going to be able to happen, and there's just so much relationship drama like interspersed in with the main plot of the story. So there's like kick-ass fighting that's going on. There's also like romance and love and drama, and I just feel like that's just like so good all in one. Like you get all of the romance and you get the kick-ass fighting and everything all in one. That's one reason I love Cassandra Clare's books, is because it has a really good balance between action and romance. I feel like her balance is just perfect. So I'm really enjoying that. I'm going to switch back to Throne of Glass and like actually read until my laundry gets done, and then I'll listen to some more of the audiobook. But I'm really enjoying the audiobook, but I really want to get through Throne of Glass. Like I'm enjoying it a lot. And I had it like marked to where I was reading like 80 pages a day for like 4 days to finish the book. I'm really wanting to finish it soon. It's like 8:11. Plus I'm having to take care of my puppy. She's so beautiful. We went and got her fixed yesterday and she can't really do anything. She's just laying in the bed. I have to like pick her up and put her on the bed and take her off, and she's just having a hard time. So I'm gonna get back to reading now. Hi guys, so it is at 10:30 now and my husband came home, so I spent a little time with him before he went to bed. He got out of class a little bit early. I listened to more of Lord of Shadows. I am really enjoying that. I'm on page 152. I have like 18 hours left in the audiobook is what it said. And I'm just like really enjoying the story and everything that's going on. I'm really curious about what's going to happen to the characters. And yeah, and I read a little bit more of Throne of Glass. I plan on physically reading that some more, but right now I'm going to go over my bookshelf and like rearrange things. I have this bookshelf right here, and then I have books down there, and I have this bookshelf over here. And this bookshelf is like my middle grade classics and contemporary bookshelf. This is literally just like extra books, and then this is like my fantasy bookshelf. But what I think I'm going to do is like there's some series and books on here that I'm just not really interested in. I don't really love them. I haven't finished them. I'm not really concerned with displaying them like right in the front of my house, so I think I'm going to take those series and I'm going to put them on the bookshelf in the hallway, so that way they're not seen, and then take like my favorite contemporary books and put them in here, so that way they are seen. And then I think I'm going to do it like by genre, like contemporary on one spot and then fantasy on the other. I'm not going to separate it by like adult or YA. I'm just going to keep it like very simple, like contemporary and then fantasy, and then probably do it by author because I like to have that kind of organization. Even though I don't have that many books, so I know where they all are, I just like to have them sorted by author. That's what I plan on doing. I'm going to set up my tripod and take everything off my shelves. Probably not take all the books off, but like take the books that I don't want on this shelf off and continue to listen to the audiobook and work on that. Guys, so it is 11:15 and I finished doing my bookshelves. There's really not an order to them. I thought that I would want to put them in more of a better organizational system, but really, you know, I just really don't have that many books, and so I kind of just know where everything is. And so I really just wanted to display the books that I really enjoyed reading the most, or ones that I think are the most beautiful, ones that I want to read, and so that's what I did. So the top shelf are just fantasy books, kind of, for the most part. That's where Lord of Shadows goes. And then that's just more fantasy. And then like down here I've got my favorite contemporaries. Like I have Morgan Matson, and then Rainbow Rowell, Sarah Dessen and John Green, Laurie Halse Anderson, Stephanie Perkins, Jenny Han, and then like normally towards the end, like I'm just kind of filling books, but I really liked how this was all one height. And then down here is just really random books, like just kind of filler spot. Alright, so I am back on my couch just chilling. I'm about to read some more of Throne of Glass. I did my bookshelves, which I showed you. The other bookshelf that's in my hallway, I just kind of put the books on. I wasn't really concerned about getting those super organized. I just knew that I wanted the books that I love displayed in the living room, and then the hallway would just be like my other books that I liked but wasn't really like super in love with and wanted to display. So that's what I did, and I'm probably going to pick up Throne of Glass because I really want to finish this. I won't finish it tonight before I go to bed because it's 11 o'clock and I'm already tired. But I really want to get some more of it done so that way I can for sure finish it tomorrow. I have been listening to Lord of Shadows on the audiobook, and I'm on chapter 9. I'm on page 179, so I have actually gotten a lot of this listen. I think I've got like 18 or 17 and a half hours left of the audiobook. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this and being back in this shadow hunter world. I'm like really intrigued by fairies and the fairy world, and I recently read Wicked King by Holly Black, and I just love learning about the Seelie and the Unseelie court and different things like that. And in this book they're in fairy, and I just think it's really cool to see because Cassandra Clare and Holly Black's fairy are very similar. Like, you know how you can have like vampires, but there's different types of vampires, like, oh, this one can stand in the sunlight and this one can't. Well, their fairy worlds are like basically the same, and I think that's really cool. I really like learning about the fairy world because it's not something that I've read a lot about, and so getting it in this book and in Holly Black's series is just really interesting to me. So I'm loving that aspect of it. I'm loving seeing that and learning more about the world while being back in the Shadowhunter world. So I am really loving this, but I think I'm going to go back to Throne of Glass because it is about to get super interesting, and I'm really excited about that. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know what time I'm going to go to bed. I'm kind of tired, but I'm feeling more awake now than I was earlier. I'm just going to get to reading now. Okay, so I have been reading Throne of Glass for the past like 30 minutes, and I have made some progress, not a lot, just because I'm kind of tired, so I'm reading pretty slow. But I just like to say that this book talks about Selena's time of the month, and fantasy books never do that. Like YA books in general, I feel like they never talk about females' time of the month, and like I just love that. I know like if you're a guy it might be a little uncomfortable for you to read, but like that's life. That's how like women live with that every month. I'm like, this assassin can have a period and it can be talked about. Other people can too. I feel like it's just never discussed in books, and I thought it was really cool that it's actually discussed in this book. That's just a random update that I had. Hi guys, so it is the next morning and I literally just woke up. And then I made coffee and I took my dogs out. I'm like really tired. It's like 10 o'clock and I had planned on waking up earlier, but with pregnancy you just have to sleep a little bit longer. You can't just like cut back your hours on sleep, and so I didn't want to put myself at any risk of being like super exhausted all day today, so I just took the extra couple hours of sleep. And it was worth it. I mean, I still sound like really tired, but that's just because I just woke up. So last night, I don't know when I last updated y'all about like how much I had read, but on Lord of Shadows, I read to page 200, and Throne of Glass, I read to page 263. So I got like 260 pages read, which is really good for the amount of time that I was reading. I'm honestly probably going to watch a booktube video to start my morning because I don't really like to start just straight reading. So I'll probably do that and drink my coffee, and then I'll get into Throne of Glass. Brittany. Brittany. Brandon. What is that? What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, so it's 12:30 and I have done some reading, not as much as I would have liked, but I just don't like to wake up first thing in the morning and read. And so, I don't know, like the beginning of my day, if I'm not like going to work, I just kind of like to relax and like check my social media and drink a cup of coffee and like watch booktube. So that's what I did for like the first hour and a half that I was awake. But I have been reading some. Like I'm on page 295 of Throne of Glass, and I was on like page 270. I haven't like physically read a lot, but I did listen to some of the audiobook of Lord of Shadows, and now I'm on page 233, and I'm really enjoying both of the stories. I had to do some things around the house, and I'm waiting to hear back from a job, hopefully soon. So I'm like obsessively checking my email to hear back from them. But I think I'm going to take a bath and just relax and try to finish Throne of Glass because I have like 100 pages left of that. And then that's it. I'm done with that book. And I really, really want to finish it before my 24-hour readathon is up, which I know that I can read 100 pages in 5 hours. But just if I actually do it and not switch over to the audiobook, because that's what I've been doing, because this story is just captivating me a lot more than the Throne of Glass. Plus, it's kind of hard to just sit there and physically read because my eyes are messing up. I need my glasses, and I don't have glasses yet. Also, I don't know why this is so blue, but I can't make it not be blue. Alright, so I'm gonna go take a bath and get to reading. Alright guys, so it is a little while later. It's like just about 3 o'clock, and I've done a lot of reading and a lot of housework, so I took my bath and I read to page 326 of Throne of Glass, and I am just really enjoying it. Like, some things were uncovered, and now I'm just curious as to how the story's gonna finish. This is like a really long series, and so I'm really curious as to how that's gonna go. And then I also went through and like deep cleaned my bathroom and cleaned some other parts of my house, and while I did that, I listened to the audiobook of Lord of Shadows, and I'm on page 317 of that, and I have like 12 hours left of the audiobook. I've got a lot of this like read, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I just love this story so much, and I love the characters, and so it's been really interesting to read. So I have like 2.5 hours left of my readathon, and so I'm just going to finish reading Throne of Glass. That is my #1 priority. I've got to stop doing things around the house and just read Throne of Glass. And then after that, I don't know if I'm going to pick up another book or if I'm going to just like physically read Lord of Shadows. I haven't decided yet, but I know that I'm going to finish Throne of Glass. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So I finished Throne of Glass, and it is 4:30 now, so I have an hour left in the readathon, and I absolutely loved Throne of Glass. It was so good. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars because it was a little bit cliche in some parts. Like, there are some things that in the book that YA novels tend to do a lot that kind of bothered me, and so that was like really the only problem that I had with it. I thought the writing was great. I thought the storyline and the plot were absolutely amazing. There was the romance that I wasn't in love with. Like, I didn't love the romance, but I think that I could see something else happening. And so that keeps me on edge. And really, it was just a really great book overall. I love the characters. Like, I connected with them, I really felt for them, and I love the magic that's going on in this story. And so it was all just really, really interesting, and it kept me intrigued the whole time. So I definitely will be continuing on with the series. I don't have any of the other books. I thought about buying them on ebook, but I really want to have a physical copy of all of them if I continue like the whole series. But I think for right now I may just get the ebook and then buy a physical copy later. I'm not really sure, but I think I'm going to continue on reading Lord of Shadows. I need to fold some laundry and start dinner soon, so that's probably what I'm gonna do, is listen to some more of Lord of Shadows just until the time is up. That's all I have for now. I will probably not update y'all again until the end of the vlog, so that is all. Hi guys, so it is 5:39, so that means I have finished my 24-hour readathon, so I'm just going to wrap up what I read, what I felt about it, and like how many pages I read. I did sleep last night from 1 to like 9:30, so I got like 8.5 hours of sleep. But I started last night, and I started with Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, and I started on page 199 of this book whenever the readathon started, and I finished it today. So it was 404 pages, and that added up to being 205 pages that I read of this book. And I did finish it, and I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. If you watched the video, then you know how I felt about it. It was really good. It's very interesting. I love the plot. I love the characters in the story. The other book that I read and listened to it on audio was Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare, and I read 352 pages of this. So altogether I read 557 pages during this readathon. I got a little bit over halfway through this book. It is just under 700 pages, and I'm on page 352. And I am really enjoying this book so far. I love the conflicting romance in it and all of the Shadowhunter world and being back in different places that you see in some of the other series, and just, it's really interesting. Emma Carstairs is one of my favorite characters, and I loved reading about her in Lady Midnight, and so this book is just taking me back to all of those feelings, and I'm really enjoying it. So that is the end of my 24-hour readathon. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. I had so much fun filming this and just spending this 24 hours basically doing nothing but listening to my audiobook and reading, and I definitely am glad that I got through Throne of Glass. I have been wanting to read it for a while and I just haven't, and so I'm really glad that I picked up this series and I'm really enjoying it, and I definitely will be picking up some more of the series later. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Bye!